Awesome, man.
Respect.
Great work.
Appreciate it.
Great work. That was good.
We're gonna train again. Easy.
There is a saying, I would say, there's a saying that a happy fighter makes a dangerous fighter, in the sense that environment and their brain is receptive of what they're going to be more in tune with what they're going through.
3, 2, 1, let's go. Wow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So I'm actually like, give me more, give me more, give me more.
That's his mindset in everything he does, whether it's training, whether it's
Days remaining until fight night, Anthony Joshua appears fully locked in, and everything coming out of his camp points to a fighter treating this bout with complete seriousness and focused.
So I use YouTube a lot, where there's a lot of videos what I listen to, and I update it, and I can always revert back to it when I'm feeling low to get a bit of motivation. Fear comes in many forms. There's some things that I can't get over and I'll always be scared of, but I take the positive from it. Like, I'm never so confident I'm gonna win. It's probably the fact that I'm scared to fail.
Aren't meant to understand that you're tired. Coaches aren't meant to understand that you have emotions. Coaches are just supposed to look at you like you're a machine, and they just want results. I may be tired, but I just got to bite down on my gum shield, because if I can perform to an elite level when I'm tired, imagine what I can do when I'm at rest and when I've got energy. I've been through them days where I'm looking for sympathy and you just don't get it in sport, but you don't get it. I always knew there could be the most talented fighter out there, especially in our industry. If they can't sell tickets, they can't put bombs on seats, they'll never showcase their skills to the world, no matter how good they are. And that's why I say you have to have marketability and you have to have ability. And when you bring those two worlds together, it's a recipe for success.
There is no casual tone and no exhibition mindset, only relentless preparation. AJ is fine-tuning his conditioning, sharpening his combinations, and committing to a disciplined, pressure-heavy game plan. This isn't about headlines or novelty. It's about timing, control, and ensuring there are no loose ends when the bell finally rings.
Together in such a fine way that they gel together well. Stay hungry, stay humble.
Joshua understands the stage is massive, the spotlight unforgiving, and the expectations sky high, which is exactly why his approach has been strictly business from start to finish.
Yeah, and again. Good, and again. Good, 2 more. 1 more of them. Good.
Find it within yourself. If I've got to tell you to get up, and I've got to tell you to go to work, and I've got to tell you to do everything, then until that person stops telling you, you're never going to be able to achieve anything. So that's the best piece of advice I've been given, is find it within yourself to be motivated. You've been blessed with a brain, heart for emotions, spiritual connection.
Countdown continues. The message from Joshua's camp is unmistakable. AJ is not easing into this moment. He's fully committed, determined to leave nothing to chance when he steps into the ring. Across from him, Jake Paul is also deep into preparation, increasing the intensity of his sparring with heavier partners and sharpening his movement as he readies himself for the biggest test of his boxing.
There's very clear paths to being able to beat Anthony Joshua. Something about him. I was supposed to fight Gervonta and then go and fight Joshua maybe next year. When Gervonta got into his whole fiasco, Joshua was one of the first names on the list. I would say he's definitely was surprised and maybe thought I was just all talk and not actually wanting to do it and just saying it for hype. I think that's what a lot of people think when I say crazy things like fighting Canelo or Bud or Joshua. So I think he was actually surprised to get the deal done.
Paul's camp remains high, but the work reflects a clear understanding of what lies ahead. Longer rounds, tighter defense, and constant emphasis on surviving sustained pressure have become priorities. With time running out, Jake's camp is focused less on talk and more on readiness, aware that this isn't just another crossover moment, but a night that could define how seriously his boxing journey is viewed.
I don't want to ask you about a prediction for Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua because I think a lot of people know what will happen. But is it dangerous for Jake Paul to be taking on a big heavyweight? You're a heavyweight, man. I wouldn't want to get punched by you here. Is it very dangerous for Jake Paul to be able to take?
I mean, no matter what it is, it can be an exhibition fight or whatever fight it is. When two guys step over that rope and they got bad intentions or they ready to throw blows, it's always bad. You got to understand that boxing is a dangerous business and the head is not meant to be hit in the first place. Doctors will always tell you the head is not meant to be hit. The body is not meant to be hit. The head is not meant to be, the brain is not meant to be shot.
Paul's camp narrows its focus in the final days. The wider boxing conversation has intensified as well. On TalkSport, Jim White, Simon Jordan, and Abdullah Depot framed the bout as a collision between spectacle and real consequence. With the fight just a week away in Miami, the panel acknowledged its massive commercial appeal while questioning how such a matchup was sanctioned, pointing to Florida's reputation for approving unconventional contest. Jordan argued that Paul's position is driven more by commercial power than sporting merit, stressing that while Paul attracts audiences and subscriptions, the competitive gap between him and a former unified heavyweight champion remains significant.
It wouldn't go beyond a round at AJ to get rid of him, let alone AJ being 50 pounds heavier. The Americans look at AJ slightly different to how we do. They look at him as when he was in their country, he got beat by Ruiz, who's not gone on to do anything. If Andy Ruiz went on to have this glittering career, then it maybe would have made that defeat look a lot bigger. They watched him recently get defeated by Daniel Dubois. They think he's done. So they don't have respect for him maybe the way we do here. So Jake, and when I've been around Jake, and he's delusional, but he's very strong-minded. So he thinks he can win, but there's no way this should go beyond 3 minutes.
Who's the A side? Who walks into the ring?
AJ walks into the ring first, so Jake Paul's the A side.
Interview White steered the discussion toward the financial realities, explaining why elite fighters are willing to accept such opportunities. Abdullah balanced the debate by acknowledging Paul's impact on boxing's visibility and promotion, especially through modern platforms. Together, they agreed that regardless of hype, this is a real fight carrying real risk. And if Joshua fails to dispatch Paul decisively, it could disrupt carefully planned future paths. From both the studio and the audience's perspective, the conclusion was clear: curiosity will drive massive viewership, but once the bell rings, boxing's unforgiving hierarchy is expected to reassert itself.
Involved here. How is Jake Paul a behemoth?
He's a behemoth in terms of he's following and in terms of the pulling power he has. He's now, whether hardcore boxing fans want to, and that's saying something. Like the amount of people that put their hands up want to fight Jake Paul when they realized the Gervonta Davis fight weren't happening. He can, like Alexander Usyk says he wants to fight him. Yeah, like that's the one of the biggest names in the sport. Not that many people
love the sport working in it. Is it an uncomfortable truth, if you like, that Jake Paul is part?
The TalkSport discussion, led by Jim White, Simon Jordan, and Abdullah Depot, highlighted the commercial weight and regulatory questions surrounding Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Attention shifted toward reactions from fighters themselves, most notably Michael Bisping, responding to a growing number of high-profile predictions backing Paul. Bisping expressed disbelief at the idea that Joshua could be knocked out by a YouTuber-turned boxer, even while admitting how surreal it feels that the fight is actually happening. He referenced comments from figures like Tyson Fury, who claimed he would back Paul for a knockout, and Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, who suggested Joshua's past stoppage losses point to vulnerability.
Fury, a tremendous world champion, one of the best boxers of his generation, apparently, and I don't know if he's serious, but he says that he put £1 million on Jake Paul to knock out Anthony Joshua.
Serious? 100%. If they fight, I'm putting £1 million on Jake Paul.
And we know, first of all, that Tyson Fury doesn't really like Anthony Joshua. So maybe he's just saying that, maybe he's talking shit. Or has he really put £1 million on? Because if he has, I want to see that betting slip. And could you imagine if I don't know what the odds on Jake Paul knocking him out are, but